Morning has broken like the first morning. Well, welcome boys and girls to Trade Anywhere. Just setting up today. One of the beauties of what we do is get a laptop, a couple of screens, of which I have 3. I can do what I want. So what I'm going to do at the moment, don't really need to see me do this, but I'm just going to set myself up a little workstation, get myself ready to rock and roll, see where I'm at. Nice chair here, laptop, get the second screen on, and then another one for the news, and I'm ready to go. Dead simple. I love these. It's a good portable screen. Bish bash, that one there. Watch the world go by outside because it's wonderful. Let me show you. Yes, it is truly wonderful. I mean, we've got a lovely lodge, little panoramic roof, but there's a disaster, boys and girls. Disaster. Well, there isn't actually. Here, I'll show you. If I come through here, the disaster could be that Winky was, oh, bollocks. She heard us coming and she put her clothes on.
Oh, was she there?
Because she was all naked earlier on. She's dirty, naughty girl, naughty girl. And why was she naked? Because we were playing in that bad boy out there last night. It was a good time. But have a look out. Come on, lock the door. Let's have a look out here. Listen to that. Listen to that. Just, you know, listen. That's right, silence. Now, after a very hard few weeks, I take a break maybe every 10 weeks fully. This year's been, well, I've had more breaks than I should have had really, but normally every 3 months I'll take a holiday and a break because I burn out. And the older I get, I seem to burn out a bit more. And certainly after where I was at the weekend, which was here. What a fabulous event that was. And the guys loved it. But let's see if I can pull a trade up and make a few quid. What we're going to do, I've just set my screens up, told the guys in the squad what the strength is this morning, and we're going to go look at pound JPY while we're here in the lodge. Now, one of the beauties of being here is it's peaceful and I can take my time. But you should be doing that anyway. I'm constantly pulled on my win rate and saying you only show winners one thing or another. I don't. There is losers on the channel. And there's losers inside winning trades as well. The difference is I don't trade that much. I only look for 1 or 2 setups a day. And I go to market when I'm fully committed to it. That's it. That keeps my win rate up. So when people are chewing on and crying, ask them how many trades they take. Because I did it this weekend when I did Traders Day Live. I'm trading once, twice. They're 10, 20, 30 times a day. You cannot sustain that. We even had them up into the hundreds per day. Absolutely feckin' ludicrous. And not only is it ludicrous, it's pure gambling and a waste of time. You will never succeed doing that. Never. But I want you to succeed. And that's where less is more comes in. Now this morning, we're looking around, and I also like to think that a chart is a chart. Because if you take the timestamp off anything and you take the name off it, the chances are you couldn't recognize that chart. You know, at this moment in time, I probably recognize an indices or a commodity, but if I was to pick the exact pair, I probably couldn't. But then a monthly chart is a hell of a lot different to a 5-minute chart. You've got to understand the variations between them. There's a lot of history in a monthly, but it's not going to affect the next 10 minutes. A 5-minute has no history, so you've got no idea what's going to happen in the next 10 minutes. So you've got to kind of find a flow between them, which is why if you look in the intermediate charts, the hours, the 4 hours, daily even, that'll give you the clues as to what's going on. Get that right, you'll trade right, and you'll trade really consistently, and then just control your position size and you're fine. When it comes to stops, stops have one job: protect the account. I don't give a toss about RR. I really don't. If I'm willing to pay the price of that stop, it's a good stop. That's it. Then my profit is what I get out on the other side, ROI. So it's a different concept to what you normally see, but I do this as a job and I've done it for 20 years. All right. So take what you will. I'll never trade for you, but I can show you what I do. Hope that kind of makes sense in a strange way. I guess what I'm getting at is I do my thing, you do your thing, and if you don't like it, fine. Anyway, let's jump on the chart and see what's going on. So this morning, I've already, because I tell this lot what I'm doing before I do it. That's a big thing. Before. It's very difficult to sort of go, oh, well, I did this yesterday and I got in here and I got out up there because I'm a gazillionaire. Well, I'll be a billionaire if I could tell you what it is in the past. It's a bit harder to say what it's going to do in the future. So that's what this is all about, okay? So here we go. I'll pull the bigger version of this up so you can see it, but I've already told them that it's selling, and you can see it. It's at the timestamp before this is. We are currently 9:30, and it's come because when I was having a look through, I saw this here, which is for fossil. It was lovely seeing you at the weekend. Hope you had a safe trip home, because I know you had a long journey. Looking at the 9 o'clock, so see what the 9 o'clock candle brings. GB, and his favorite is pound JPY. Well, I agree with him, because I like pound JPY as well. So what did I do? I woke up, had a nice cup of coffee, and I'm coming in to have a look at it right now. So if I look at this, first of all, I would look to see where the pound is. Well, the pound is stronger than JPY at this moment in time. Okay, well, that says nothing. But what it also tells me is since the last data sample, it's lost ground. But not only has it lost ground, JP was gaining ground. So it might be stronger, but it's coming down as the other one is moving up. And then that is shown on this side. The pound is losing ground, JP is gaining ground. Fine, okay? So the next thing that I'll be looking at is to see what the ATR is. Well, the ATR is this. This helps with targeting, etc. So just flip some indicators on and we'll put the ATR in. So the ATR at this moment in time is 135. Okay, so I can switch the indicators off. Don't need them no more. Come back to my sheet. Find JPY. Well, it's still at the same, 135. So what does this part tell me? This is a bias calculator. You need to be able to read a chart in order to plug the things in. So it's not one of these things, oh, you get hold of this and I mean instantly you're trading. No, you've got to understand the chart first. And if you can't understand the chart, this won't help you. It'll just exaggerate your wrong interpretation. So, but if you can interpret the chart right, it will clearly tell you what's going on. So what is going on? Well, we're looking at a sell in a bull market. It's A, which means it's pretty darn good, and it's 6. In fact, it's that good. We're going to pretty much go into it now. So give me this. I'm going to count back 5 candles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Optimum is under here because you can see the fractal point. Well, it's a sort of fractal point, shoulder, shoulder, but it's below. So that's the bit that I'm after because I want to sell. All it means is that and that are lower than that. Okay. So let's just have a quick look at that. We'll start the bidding off at about 5 or roughly under the current candle. I know it says 6, but we'll kind of go for 15 just to start us off. Okay. Why is that? Because that gets us down onto the bottom of this swing point, which if this is going to run, it'll attack that. And we're looking at a bigger picture. So I've got the order in, so I can go back to the sheet and just kind of continue to talk and chat and have a coffee, because we all know Scruffy likes a coffee. And Winky's being wonderful. And she might start chipping on because she's on the other side of the table here. Here, I'll show you. What we'll do is we'll show you where the winker is. She's off camera because she thinks she's got no clothes on. Well, she hasn't got any clothes on. She hasn't got any clothes on. Hey, look at that. You haven't got change yet. Right, okay. See that? I'm nice to her all the time. I'm not actually. I'm horrible to her. Am I horrible to you?
No.
Am I?
You're going to help me with my crosswords soon.
I'm going to help you with crossword. I was going to help you uncross something.
No. Always.
Ah, dear. Do you know something? We talk like this in front of our kids and they're like, oh, will you two give over? Please, give over. Oh, it's horrible. I don't know what you mean it's horrible. It's where you came from. Well, I'm getting.
It's all right. I know the answer. I don't need your help.
What? Well, what answer is it then?
Fish eagle.
A fish eagle. What's that then?
Osprey.
It's an osprey.
Yeah.
Is it? Is that correct, boys and girls? Is a fish eagle an osprey?
It's a fish eagle. Oh, I don't know.
Now you don't know. Well, it might be a seagull. Could be an albatross.
It's not a fish eagle. This bird may be called an osprey, a fish hawk, a river hawk, a sea hawk, or even a fish.
All right, okay.
Black of osprey, and it works. So.
All right, okay. There you go. Voice of reason from the blonde bubble. Right, okay. So what are we looking at? So what else can we derive from this? Why is it careful? It's very simple, it's careful. Yes, the dominance is down. Yes, the low time frames is screaming down. But there is a problem here. It's actually in a range. It's on a short-term range. Pull this back slightly. You can kind of see that there. It's kind of chunking up rather than trending. So you've got to be a bit careful. Now it's already caught between 2 points. Pull that up, which is that level and that level. Then you've got intermediaries between them. And it comes down into a section inside of this called GoldenEye, and that's what I'm going to be targeting. Okay. Now, GoldenEye is a very, very simplistic process. It's not a strategy per se. In fact, I don't believe in strategies. I don't think they exist. There's interpretation. Because if you think X marks the spot, that's why you're taking 30 to 100 trades and losing. If you read the conditions and you trade less, you'll make more. Now, for those who were at the live event, I showed them my accounts. They saw it in front of them, you know, and I showed what was capable. Now, the point with all of this is patience is key. Now, if you're only got 100 quid, I mean, I was sort of put to a challenge that from, can I grow £100 aggressively? I thought, might do a tale of 2 accounts, 2 cities. Put 100 in one, which I'm actually doing as a cash builder. And it's based on 10 pips a day. And you go, but you trade conservatively. Not only you trade conservatively, you compound your position size. If you compound your position size, by definition, it'll increase your profits. Simple process, kind of show you. Do this because we're waiting at the moment. So there's the cash builder. I said I would do it. I had 28 days straight on the last one. Started this 6 days ago because the test was complete, and I want to do it again just to nail it down, because it is something that I'm working on. So here we are, 6 days straight again. Now these are broken areas, so I'll take my 10p and I'll split it into 2 5s or whatever. At the moment it's 2 5s and a penny. Okay, now if I haven't hit 10 pips, got to go back to market, and if I have hit 10 pips, I quit. Now this morning's already done, so I can mark that as day target achieved. Why? Because I've done more than the pips required. There's the day target, there's the pips. As long as that's done, happy days. That target told me, so I can now set this up for tomorrow, which will be Tuesday. It won't actually be, because I was off yesterday. I'm day behind. It was actually Tuesday today, wasn't it? Because I took yesterday off because I was driving to get here. Right, okay. Don't know what the market's going to be, but I do know what I'll be starting with. I'll be starting with the same principle, because it hasn't edged up slightly enough on the balance to tip that over. But eventually that'll become 12p, and it just builds up and builds up and builds up, but it's ready. It's ready for tomorrow, and we'll go along. So there we are, clean sweep. Soon as they're hit, kabash. Every position's won. Sometimes they will get sacrificed, which is why I break the positions. And of the 6, 15 of them of what I've been using to get, but it's grown 9.8% in 6 days. It's all right. I could stop now and I've beat the bank. And that's my first job, beat the bank. So, drop that down. Well, we still haven't triggered in yet. So, we know what our order is. We know that I'm looking to sell it. And you know a little bit about what's going on. But let's just delve out of this slightly, a bit further. Why might this be selling? Well, there is a strong move, big move. Started here and then there. We've got a definitive top. We've also got a move inside a move. And that move inside the move started with this one. Okay. Now that was Sunday night gap through Monday morning explosion. And what happens all the time, pushes through. Okay. So last week, it pretty much hardly looked back. Well, you're going to have opposing positions now. You're going to have profit taking. You're going to have stops that have been hit inside of that big move. So where's this thing running to? Well, theoretically, if things has gone correct, it will be running at this 50%, which it's already tagged once. There, tagged it yesterday. So will it come back and revisit it? Well, if it's on a downward push and it's failing this level, which is the 38, there's a high probability it will come, and it may even look for the 61. So the targeting, what I've put in, is probably correct. So that there is going to create the bounce point, a little bit of push through, because it's a hypothetical target, and fine. Now the next part of the puzzle is, okay, I know it's ready because it's an A, so I will follow a 5-minute candle. Okay, so every time it moves higher, that is there, I will move that up, and not only will it move up, it'll pull the target with it. Now one of the beauties of this thing is, let me just flick this back so I can show you, is because I've got a base target, I know roughly what I'm playing with. Now that's another thing, you know, if you don't know what you're targeting in the first place, I don't really want to go 2 times more than what can feasibly get out of this market. I'm pretty calm. Is that not a reasonable assumption, guys? You know, but if I want to go for 100 pips, well then I'd be nervous, because what's the chances of getting there? pretty slim because I already told you what the ATR is. And you only want about a third of an ATR. So if I'm going for 100, it's nearly all of it. So if I'm less than a third, it's normally a piece of piss. So that's what we're going to do. So we'll run this out and I'll come back to you when it's done. Okay, boys and girls, just killed that off at 100 quid. I wanted 6 pips, looking to be a little bit more than that because obviously I had the opportunity to. Let me just a second, let me just check something. No, yeah, I've got no tickets left. Well, 99 quid. Now, initially, all I wanted was 6 pips. So that's like 55 quid. So because I use pending orders and then move up into certain regions, it allows me to expand the target. Now I can either drag the target up with me, which I have, but I can also increase the target at the same time because it's going to become a saturation point. And that saturation point is exactly where we are now. And you can see it here. Now why is that? Well, when it started pumping up, it did stall in and around this region. But look, you've got a huge tail coming in here. Now on a 5 minute, it's not a lot, but when it starts coming into multiple candles, and this is where you're kind of watching the DNA of the candle, 5 candle countbacks, etc. If you're looking 5 candles back all the time, you can kind of start seeing how a 15-minute candle is built up inside of this, right? So it can help you. Now, not only can you do that, you can start seeing, well, volume's running out. So I don't need volume indicators because I can see it in the bodies of the candles. Chunky, not so chunky, not so chunky, big tail, little tail, little tail. That tells you that the buyers are losing ground, and they definitely are. And they've been losing ground from here. Comes down, tried to push, couldn't take out these 2 candles, and then failed pretty much on these because the body's never closed above. And then thump, flood comes in, but look where it stops. Bang on the level that I actually marked out earlier on. Now I can hold this for longer if I choose, but why? It came to a barrier. It was paying me more than I initially wanted. I get out. So that to me is trading. What I've done is I worked out a direction that I was clearly defined to get. In other words, selling. That's all I was interested in. I was only interested in selling the market. Then I had to be patient in order to get the entry. Yes, it's an air trade entry, but it doesn't mean to say click the button. It just means be on your guard. So, right, okay, it's ready to rock and roll. So I'm not going to wait 15 minutes each time. I'll follow a 5 minute. And if it pumps up for a few, then that's fine. In this case, it pumped up for about an hour and a bit. So I had to wait that long to enter the market. This is where your money's made, guys. Your money's made waiting, not chasing. And I'm on holiday, so I'm only doing 1 trade a day to help you guys. If I was at home, I'd maybe go do that again this afternoon if I haven't been paid fully this morning, and then I'll do it again tomorrow. That's where your high win rates come from, but more importantly, it's where your profit comes from. Because if you can't wait and you're just gambling over and over, well, then you're destined to fail. Your desire to trade should never outweigh your reason. And my reason is, I want to pay for lunch, go cinema. You want to go cinema?
Yeah.
Or do you want to go to bed? She didn't say no, boys and girls. No, well, I think we might go cinema today. I'm going to enjoy the lodge. It's lovely here. It's very peaceful, very quiet. And I need it. But I also like to show you these things. And also, if I see something that the guys are looking at, I'll do my best to help. So there you go, Fossil. That's how I would have done this. Catch you soon.